Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Fakrul Aiman bin Hanapi from BA 2494B. Now, I will present the second assignment is pairing assignment with my partner Muhammad Amar bin Abdul Ghani. The topic about Al-Sarf and its practice on Islamic banking. Okay, we go to introduction. The introduction is Al-Sarf is a concept in Islamic finance that related to currency exchange or currency trading. In Islamic financial system, transaction and practice must adhere to Sharia principle, which govern various aspects of economic activities. The primary objective of Al-Sarf is to facilitate the exchange of currency to legitimate purposes while ensuring fairness and avoiding element of uncertainty and exploitation. The Islamic finance emphasizes to avoid riba, maisir and gharar in financial transaction. Therefore, by Al-Sarf, transaction must comply with specific condition to align with this principle. The one key condition is that by Al-Sarf should be conducted as a spot transaction. Spot transaction meaning the exchange takes place immediately without any delay or deferral. This ensure that the transaction is based on the current market rates at the time of exchange. Another important condition is that the exchange should occur in equal amount without any excess or delay in the delivery of either currency. This principle ensure fairness and equity in the transaction. So Islamic finance offer the alternative financial instrument and structure that comply with Islamic principles, providing individual and business with options to manage their finances in a manner consistent with their religious belief. Okay, that is straight introduction. So next we go for the next is research objective. Objective of the research is to investigate and analyze the concept and application of Al-Sarf in Islamic finance. The research aims to achieve the following specific objective. For example, first is to explore the theoretical foundation of Al-Sarf. The objective involve delving into Islamic principle, jurisprudence, and scholarly interpretations related to Al-Sarf. It include examining relevant Quranic verse and Hadith Prophet Muhammad and the scholar opinion to establish the theological and legal basis for the currency exchange in Islamic finance. The second objective is to examine the condition and requirement of Al-Sarf. The objective focus on understanding the specific condition and requirement that must be met for a transaction to qualify as Al-Sarf. It involves studying the principle of spot transaction, equal exchange, hand-to-hand exchange, and other relevant conditions that ensure complying with Sharia principle. Okay, the third objective is to analyze the practical application of Al-Sarf. The objective aim to investigate how Al-Sarf is implemented in real-world scenarios. It involves examining the operational practices and machines used in currency exchange transaction with the Islamic financial institution. The analysis may include studying the procedures, documentation, and compliance measure followed by this institution to ensure adherence to the principle of by Al-Sarf. Okay. The last objective is to assess the challenge and debate surrounding by Al-Sarf. The objective involve identifying and analyzing the challenge, the controversies, the debate associated with by Al-Sarf. It include examining differing opinion among scholars, potential risks, and issue in the implementation of by Al-Sarf, and any debate regarding its compatibility with the modern financial practice. By achieve this research objective, a comprehensive understanding of by Al-Sarf can be gained, contributing to the existing body of knowledge in Islamic finance and providing insight for practitioners, scholars, and policy maker in this field. Next, we go to literature review. The concept of by Al-Sarf in Islamic finance has been the subject of extensive research and scholarly discourse. Various issues of monetary exchange have been examined in a number of publications and articles within the framework of Sharia principle. An overview of the main conclusion and theme from the body of prior research on by Al-Sarf is given in this literature review. The definition of by Al-Sarf in literally is sale and purchase of money for money. It's including for gold and silver. By Al-Sarf literally translate to currency exchange or sale of currency in Arabic. The act of exchanging one currency for another is referred as. Why Sarf particularly refer to currency or money? The term buy describe a sale or other transaction. The definition from in technically is sale of money for money, such as sale of gold for gold or silver for silver. In Islamic finance, a specific form of transaction known as a by Al-Sarf refer to an exchange or sale of currencies. It is a term that is used to describe currency exchange procedures that adheres to Sharia guideline. Okay, so we go for the pillars. The pillars of by Al-Sarf. Pillars of by Al-Sarf, we have four things. First is seller and buyer. The seller and buyer is the person or organization that present a certain currency for exchange is referred to as the seller, often known as the currency seller or the party offering the selling currency. The seller is in possession of the currency that they are prepared to exchange for another currency and sell to the buyer. They decide what exchange rate they are willing to accept while selling their money. The entity or person intending to purchase a certain currency through the exchange is known as the buyer, sometimes known as the currency buyer or the party trying to purchase a specific currency. The buyer approach the seller with the goals of exchanging their own currency for the desired currency. The buyer supplies the required quantity of their currency for the transaction and accept the exchange rates determined by the seller by mutual consent and adhering to the rules and guidelines of Islamic finance. The seller and the buyer enter into the by Al-Sarf transaction. Following the tenets of by Al-Sarf, such as spot transactions, hand-to-hand exchange, equal exchange, and the use of the same currency types, the transaction is carried out through a direct exchange of currencies. Okay. The second pillars of by Al-Sarf is merchandise or goods. The merchandise or good being sold must be lawful, must be halal goods in the possessions of the seller and capable of being delivered to the buyers. The goods should be clearly described and agree upon by both parties. The third pillar is the price. The price is the sum of money or other consideration set between the buyers and seller for the exchange of product, of service, or asset in context of trade and transactions. The price is the value in money given to the goods or service being exchanged. The dynamics of supply and demands, product cost, market competition, and perceived value are only a few of the variables that affect pricing. Based on this element and their respective interests, the buyer and seller negotiate or come to an agreement on the price. So in Islamic finance, the determination of price should adhere to certain principles. It should be fair, transparent, and free from the element of exploitation or deceptions. Islamic finance discourage any form of riba and excess profit the taking. The last pillars of by Al-Sarf is Sigoh. Sigoh is ijab and kabul, offer and acceptance. The seller make an offer to sell the merchandise or goods, and the buyer accept the offer. This mutual agreement between the parties is essential for the information of a valid sales contract.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amar bin Ghani. So I'm here to present about the next topic, which is the problem that occur because of the buy-asas transaction. So the first problem is exchange rate uncertainty, which is the determining a fair exchange rate in buy-asas transaction can be challenging. Fluctuation in currency values and the absence of standardized exchange rate can create uncertainty and lead to disputes between parties. Islamic financial institutions need to establish transparent mechanisms for determining exchange rates that align with Sharia principles. The next one is lack of standardization. There is a lack of standardization in the application of buy-asas across different Islamic financial institutions and regions. This can lead to inconsistency and different interpretation of the principles, causing confusion among consumers and reducing market efficiencies. The next one is limited availability of permissible currencies. Islamic finance restricts buy-asas transactions to permissible currencies that have intrinsic value or are issued by authoritative bodies. However, the availability of such currencies may be limited, especially in certain regions or certain currency pairs, which can restrict the options for currency exchange. The last one is lack of liquidity. The liquidity of certain currencies or currency pairs may be limited in buy-asas transactions. This can pose challenges when individual or business need to exchange currency that are less commonly traded or have restricted market access. Next, I will be discussing about the analysis and discussion topic. So the first one is I apply this on banking institution. So the first one is permissible currencies. According to Islamic principles, buy-asas can only be conducted with permissible currencies. Permissible currencies are those that have intrinsic value, such as gold and silver, or those issued by authoritative body that maintains their value, such as government-issued currencies. Second one is spot transactions. Buy Al-Sarf is typically conducted as spot transaction, meaning that the exchange of currencies occur on the spot with immediate settlement without any delay or deferment. Third one is fair exchange Islamic. Law emphasizes the importance of fair exchange in transactions. Therefore, the exchange rate should be transparent, reasonable, and agreed upon by both parties involved. It should not involve any element of riba or ghurur. The last one is immediate ownership transfer, which is in by ourselves. Ownership of the exchange currency should be transferred immediately, without any ambiguity or delay. The buyer becomes the owner of the purchased currency, and the seller becomes the owner of the currency acquired. Next one is the application of buy ourselves on gold investment. Gold investment in buy ourselves should involve permissible gold, which typically refers to 24 carats or 99.9% gold. This is because impure gold or gold mixed with other metals may not be considered a valid maxim of exchange. Next, spot transaction on gold investment through Bell Asaf is generally conducted as a spot transaction, where the buyer and seller exchange the gold and payment on the spot without any delay or defer. After that, it's ownership transfer. It is important that ownership of the gold being exchanged is transferred immediately. This means that the buyer becomes the owner of the purchased gold and the seller becomes the owner of the currency used for the purchase. Furthermore, fair price of gold should be determined through a transparent and fair mechanism agreed upon by both parties. The exchange should also not involve by any element of interest, speculation, or uncertainty. Furthermore, I will be moving on the application of buy ourselves on forex exchange. The forex system has elements of gambling. Every sale and purchase that contains element of gambling is illegal according to Sharia. The Quran text Surah Al-Maidah clearly shows that the prohibition of Al-Maisir, referring to the content of forex trading. Most websites or online trading platforms states that clearly there is a risk or that high risk disclosure against this transaction. Based on the surah statement, clearly shows that forex trading is a business of buying and selling that is not sure of profit or the loss. Therefore, buying and selling forex is based on speculation and risk high to suffer losses. Speculation is often associated with investment short-term and trying to bet on something going up stocks or assets that can lead to extreme risk and gambling. So what is the condition of buy or sell? So the forex exchange is legal from the side of Sharia. So according to the Bank Negara Malaysia, the CUP method is either CUP Hukmi or Genuine CUP is accepted in forex trading. Besides, Jumhur the jurists agree that buying and selling assets must meet 4 conditions, and one of them is that there must be an immediate surrender in the contract money without delay. There is a fatwa that issued by the God of Great Scholars of Saudi Arabia, the Islamic Fiqh Academy of the Islamic World, OIC International Academy of Islamic Fiqh, and Academy of Islamic Fiqh India states that paper money is a medium of exchange and its subject is the chain to the law of usury and is in gold and silver. So, buy and sell money paper must comply with Al-Sarf so as not as to contain usury elements banned. Therefore, it is mandatory for the goods to be delivered in person immediately in the ceremony. So, in conclusion, buy or sell is an essential concept in Islamic banking that pertains to a currency exchange transaction. It is designed to facilitate currency exchange while adhering to the principle of fairness, transparency, and avoidance of interest. However, like any financial concept, buy or sell has its challenges and concerns that need to be addressed in its implementation. It is important for the Islamic financial institution to establish transparent mechanism for the determining exchange rates, promote standardization in buy or sell practices. Additionally, ongoing research and collaboration within the Islamic finance industry are crucial for adapting buy or sell to evolving financial landscape and addressing emerging issues. By addressing these challenges, and staying true to the principle of Sharia, by Al-Sarf can continue to serve as a vital tool, facilitating currency exchange in a manner that aligns with Islamic financial principles, promote fairness, and foster economic stability. Thank you.